Let's get it.
As time goes by, an eye for an eye. We in this together, son, your beef is mine. So long as the sunshine can light up the sky. We in this together, son, your beef is mine. First of all, the foundation. Money is the root of all evil. The cream will have you shitting on your people. Living like Lotto, everything is everything. Ain't nothing changed but the clothes that my money bring. I'm making figures that I never thought possible. You try to slow me down, you find yourself in the hospital. My crew got the army of Texases and the Macuras. Kid, you get your cap peeled backwards for years. I've been trying to blow for years. Getting bent off my wet, spend a G on beers. Living life to the fullest. My story ends with a bullet. To the coke oil drop to the bottom of the pot.
What's up, everybody? Welcome and thank you for listening and streaming and sharing and putting up with me. It's Encyclopedia Hip Hop Podcast. I'm Eclectic. I'm here with the 1-2 checker, 12 Kyle.
What up, what up, what up, what up?
And this is not a draft.
No, it's not.
This is, listen, first off, Kyle, you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. And before we get started, man, I gotta congratulate you, man.
Oh shit, what I do?
Well, I want to know how it happened. I mean, there was rumors about Elon Musk buying Twitter, and the next thing I know, I get a tweet, I get a email saying Eclectic is now following you, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's right.
Did he unfollow me?
They took me off the show for 4 years. My man started trending, and look who back.
Back in effect, man. So
How's
congratulations
that?
on getting your Twitter back, man. I don't know what you did to get it taken away, but
hey, well, listen. 4 years ago, cancel culture wasn't as prevalent. I might have started.
I was certain it was getting your ass about the paint for real.
Listen, I'm back. I got most of my followers back. It's a whole fucking thing. Listen, for those of you who are following Encyclopedia HH and was following the Eclectic Podcast, also the original recipe at Eclectic is back. You can follow me. You can say what's up. That's the account where I'm talking about whatever the fuck. Right. So you know, the Eclectic Podcast is podcast stuff. Encyclopedia Hip Hop is some hip hop stuff. Over in the Eclectic, yeah, it's a reason they got me out for 4 years.
I mean, the thing just really popped up and said Eclectic is now following you, and I'm like, wait a minute, did he unfollow me?
He wasn't there.
He was gone.
Yeah,
but on the real, I didn't realize it was 4 years though. That's crazy.
Yeah. It was before the pandemic.
Right.
Listen, everybody.
You left and the
you see what happens when they get rid of me? You see what happened? Everybody does. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's funny. But yeah, welcome back.
Listen, thank you. Everybody, it's enough filibustering. Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone. Our new good friends. And Rolling Stone.
The good friends at Rolling Stone.
Put together the 200 greatest hip hop albums of all time. It didn't say their favorites.
Right.
It said the greatest.
The greatest.
200. And they list the people who contributed to this list, and they said they listened, and they had, I was gonna say the nerve, but they had the foresight to put this list in order. They didn't just say, "Hey, here's 200." They didn't just say, we listen to everything. Here's 200. They put them in order from 200 to number 1. And I didn't know that this existed. I was minding my own business on my my now revived, regurgitated Twitter account, and I started seeing things. And then Kyle sent me a message, so what'd you think of when you saw this list, sir?
You know what, man? What's interesting? I normally don't get bothered by stuff. I don't get bothered, and I don't get caught up and sink into these debates and stuff like that. But when I saw this, I was legit pissed, and I immediately sent you a text like, "We got to talk about this," because I'm like, and this was before you. And then what made it even worse was you later sent me the pictures of the panel who came upon this decision. I think it's safe to say that you and I, being as tenured as we are in hip hop, we've probably heard more than 200 albums. I would even go as far as to say we probably bought more than 200 albums.
I still own more than 200 albums,
Same.
physical cassette tapes in my closet right now.
Same here. I probably have at least 500 CDs, not counting mixtapes, and clue tapes and stuff like that. So what I'm saying is we've seen and heard so much. So to come up with listen, folks, E and I have never sat down and tried to come up with a list of 200 albums to break down, because for one, it would take forever, but we've never done that, not even amongst our friends and other fellow hip hop heads. So to do this, I mean, yeah, it does take a lot, but bro, when you come up with 200, your list had better be legit, especially something like Rolling Stone, which
they should know better.
They should, because they're not known for hip hop, but they're a reputable newspaper, magazine / internet site, I guess. But yeah, long story short, man, when I saw it, I was pissed. And like I said, again, I don't normally get bothered by stuff like this, but I saw it and I texted you like 2 seconds later, like, we got to talk about this.
Listen, here's the thing. Hip hop, conservatively, 50 years old.
Yeah, it'll be 50 next year.
So 200 albums, 50 years. These are at 50 years. These are the best. The greatest of all time. Now listen, 50 years is a long time. 200 is a big number. I don't know the gentleman myself. I couldn't imagine a Playboy Cardi album making a 200. Listen, here's the thing. This is what they didn't do. And anytime I do a list, it's what I always do. Mm-hmm. I establish a criteria. How did I come to this decision? Now, because you could disagree with the decision, but then when you look at how I get it. If those are the rules, then I guess that's what it is. Mm-hmm. If I say, listen, these are the top 20 best hip hop albums from left-handed MCs.
Damn.
You look at it, you're like, wait a minute, oh, they are left-handed. Okay, all right, I get it. If that's your criteria, then okay. The top 15 MCs is born on a Tuesday that only wear Nikes. Yeah, Now we got it. But you said 200 greatest hip-hop albums of all time. And there's people who I've never heard of. I don't think, as a hip-hop fan, as someone who, for the most part, has been alive since its inception, should have never heard of people on the top 200. Top 500, maybe.
Right.
200, nah, that's 450s. Nah, we can't do that. Right. And on top of that, all right, let's take a look. So on the website, they broke it up, and because there's so many, 200 to 181, bottom of the list. 200 is Travis Scott's Astro World. Now. Right. I'll pull back the curtain. I'll be honest with you guys. Never heard a Travis Scott song in my life. I only know he has really cool collabs with Nike. Some of his shoes are super dope, and I'm gonna tell you something. I see them and I like them and I don't get them. And I don't get them because I feel that I'd be fronting. If I was rocking the shoes, they'd be like, oh, yo, you got the Travis Scotts? Yeah, I got the Travis Scotts. Hey, name one of his. And that is why I won't even be like, yo, I just like the way they look. I know what they are. That's just a me thing. That's just a me thing. I don't feel everybody should be like that. But that's the reason why I did. So anyway, I've never heard a Travis Scott song. I'm pretty sure someone said, hey, he made the song that goes like this. Mm-hmm. I can say, oh, I probably heard probably on somebody's story on Instagram or TikTok or something. I probably heard somebody was doing some dumb dance to it or something. And so when I look at this, like 200 Travis Scott, I'm like, okay, I know he's very popular. He has big festivals, concerts. If that's 200, fine. There's nowhere to go but up. Oh, 199 is Juice WRLD. I don't know what a Juice WRLD is.
Rest in peace.
Didn't know. I didn't know if that's where they make Simply Lemonade at. They make it at Juice WRLD. I have no idea. You just told me that
he's no longer with us.
I could not point out a Juice WRLD bar. Juice bar. I couldn't do it. I couldn't point out. But I would think that Travis Scott is better than Juice WRLD. At least I know it, but I don't know. But this is 200, 199, 198 is KMD Mr. Hood. I purchased this album. I purchased this album. I've used music from this album on this very podcast. I love the song Hum Rush. KMD, Mr. Hood, incredible album. I'm going to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. If I was doing the 200 list, I'm not sure KMD Mr. Hood would be on it.
Probably not.
But it is here, and it's 198. In between this 200 and 181, did anything stick out to you as you looked at the list? Because I mean, it gets really egregious as we get closer to the top. But I'm trying to, get things.
It was honestly, when I looked at it, it was a lot of people and a lot of albums that I never heard, probably will never hear. Now, I will say this much. I did hear a Travis Scott song, the song that he made called Sicko Mode. It was on a playlist one day that I was in the gym working out, and it came on. I was like, oh, this is the Sicko Mode, the song that they're talking about.
Did you get a nice pump going? Did it get you right where you needed to go?
It got me through the final set.
There you go.
I'll put it like that.
Right.
But nah, man, as I look through this, it's a lot of stuff of people that I have heard of, albums that I never heard, and a couple of artists that I never heard of, period. Of course, at, what was that, 189 was Nipsey Hussle, the Crenshaw mixtape. I like that.
Now,
really like. What's that?
I don't know anything from anything.
Mm-hmm.
Does mixtapes count in the 200 greatest
hip-hop
album?
And see, that's the thing. Like, I don't know that it should, because it's not an album per se. But I don't know. Again, like you said, at the top, when you're doing this, you should have a criteria. So the Ron G tape from 2001 shouldn't be on the list.
Yeah, because it's a lot of Clue tapes could kill this.
I can take the Clue tape and take some of these people out of the top 10.
I'll tell you what, man. 187, The War Report by Capone Noriega is egregious. It's one of the best albums of the 90s, and it's at 187.
Yeah, I wouldn't. If I'm thinking about coming up with a list of 200, albums, hip hop albums over the 50 years of hip hop, I'd like to think that album would fall somewhere higher than this.
I mean, at least put it in the 150 range. I mean, Life is Too Short. That might be his best album.
It's my favorite Too Short album of his 37 albums that he's done.
Man, what are you saying, Todd? It's
Then you got
186.
You got 185. You got MC Light, Light as a Rock, 88 Jim.
I mean, what
I mean, come on, man. You know it's got to be higher than that.
not really. I mean, that's
How dare you?
just saying.
But
They might have got that right. But who is Saba?
I'm sorry?
Who is Saba?
God bless you.
And why is Saba better than Capone and Noriega and Too Short?
I've heard of Saba, but I've never heard of Saba.
I've heard of Shaba.
Right. But, you know, you look and you still go down this list, man. There's nothing that jumps out at me. E40 at 178 in a major way from 1995. I do remember that album. But there's nothing that says like this should be here, this shouldn't be here. It's just a bunch of albums that, again, I've never heard, will never hear. And I'm wondering how the good folks at Rolling Stone got to these albums. Did they start at the top at one and then just kind of just started throwing shit in there? Because this list looks very odd if you start when you start at 200 and go up.
Right, and there's no way. And not looking at the people I've never heard of or the people who I would personally never listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I'm judging by the entries on here that I do know, that I have heard, there is no way that the Gravediggers is better than the War Report and Life's Too Short. It's just, there's zero way. It's not better than in a major way.
No, it's not.
I've never heard Travis Scott, and I'm gonna guess that the Gravediggers is not better than the Travis Scott album.
Yeah, that Gravediggers album is. I'll put it like this.
And I purchased the Gravediggers album.
I did not, but I will say this much: is from what I remember in the two listens that I had, it's an acquired taste. Like if you like that kind of stuff, then you'll love it. But if you've never heard it before, you'll be like, man, what the hell is this?
I will go a little further.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who knows me, you know me, people that's listening know me, knows who and the reason I love hip hop so much. It was attributed to a female MC.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Roxanne Shante.
Facts.
Her album is on here at 175, ahead of even the Gravediggers and MC Light, which she should be. But
relax.
This was not a good album. If I did a 200 list, this album would not be on my 200 list. And I adore Shante.
Mm-hmm.
I might be the biggest Shante fan outside of her.
You clearly are.
And even I'm saying, yeah, no.
Right.
So,
yeah, it's. So when I started there, I'm scratching. You know, as I'll be honest. At 200, I was scratching my head like, where are they going with this? But yeah, I saw Shantae's album. I did make a mental note that she was ahead of Light, which I think is preposterous.
I mean, she is ahead of Light, but
that's another story for another day. But you know, it's just like, okay, well, what? Okay.
But you know what female's better than Shantae and Light? 172, Flo Milli.
You can't stop Flo Milli.
Nah, you can only hope to contain Flo Milli.
Right. You can only hope to contain Flo Milli.
Whose debut was 2020.
During the pandemic.
Yeah.
So that's probably why we missed it.
Yeah. Shantae's debut was 84.
Right.
And Light's was 86. 87.
And I'm almost at. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
But Flo Milli, she dropped something Flo Milli dropped something that was better than Purple Haze by Cameron. Flo Milli.
And I'm almost afraid to ask who the hell Flo Milli is. I see her on here, but
come on, you don't know the Beef Flow mix?
Well,
and her TikTok mega hit week.
Well, the album is called "Ho Why Is You Here," so that's probably why I missed Flo Milli.
I think that's the reaction when they saw her on this list.
Oh, and she's from Mobile, Alabama. Ah, okay. Now I get it. And at 171, In Control Volume 1, Marley Marl. Criminally low. I could make a case without even making a list that this should, at the very least, be in the top 100.
And yet here we are. Listen, everyone listening, we're not going to go album for album because, quite frankly, we don't know most of these albums. But we can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that at 166, Childish Gambino is not better than anything we've said.
Not even close. Better than Soul Food, nonetheless. Wow.
Yeah, take that.
Jesus. Gotta be kidding.
It's Handsome Boy Modeling School is at 159. I'm pretty sure that that's not even a hip-hop album.
I've never heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
They gotta just be making up shit. So I'm scrolling. J. Rue the Damager. The Sun Rises in the East. The 94 Gem comes in at 155. Again, easily top 100.
Speaking of easily, Eazy-E is at 153, but it is not better than Ray Schmurd. Life.
It's worse. Ray Sherman.
I know. I'd like to play.
Who is not better than Lil Nas X?
No one's better than Lil Nas X.
His album Montero, which came out in 2021, is at 151.
Listen, I recency bias. Maybe I don't. But it doesn't. Does he rap all the time? I don't think I've ever heard him actually rap.
I don't think I've heard him outside of that song that made him very popular.
No, but the Old Town, the road,
that's
I'm pretty sure that wasn't rap.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like rap.
I'm pretty sure he wasn't rapping.
I don't know. I can't even tell you really what it sounds like. It just sounds like some shit.
It was a country. It was a country ditty.
Okay. And so that's better than Eazy-E. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. I was flabbergasted to find out that Black Sheep's A Wolf in Sheep's Clothing is better and superior to LL Cool J's Radio.
Yeah, this is where, I mean, if you haven't figured it out by now, this is where the wheels fall off for this list.
Because we're going by things we actually listen to and like.
Right.
And it's still wrong. So it's not like, oh, you're just shitting on the young people. Let's take the young people out of this.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way that A Wolf in Sheep's Clothing is... Listen, anyone who knows me and has listened to this podcast knows that I probably almost punched a hole in my computer when I found out that Commons B is better than LL Cool J's Radio.
It's a dope album. I love it. I still play it, but it ain't better than radio, man.
Damn sure ain't better than Lil Uzi Vert, who's at 143.
Lil Uzi Vert, Eternal A-Take is at 143. Damn. You got to be. Okay. Nas's It Was Written comes in at 140.
And some people say, a lot of your friends and your family say that It Was Written is better than Illmatic.
Which is preposterous, but they say that.
Mm-hmm. But
Slum Village,
it is not.
But
I tell you what is clearly better than It Was Written, and that is the City Girls. The City Girls at 138.
Oh my God. The City Girls at 138. Yeah, they're not as good as Slum Village Fantastic Volume 2 that comes in at 137.
Because they're not as good as Doja Cat. Doja Cat wraps circles around Slum Village.
And get this, Tupac. Tupac, arguably his best album, my personal favorite album from Tupac, Me Against the World, comes in at 134.
Yeah, but he has a run up in the Playboy Cardi, who's at 129, way ahead of him. Tupac Schmoopac, according to this list. You got Killer Mike, J. Cole. Ghostface Fishscale is a surprise entrance, and this is probably about where Fishscale maybe should be, if not in the top 100. I can get with that here. Making the Soul Brother 130, maybe, but Playboy Cardi is here.
Yeah, Playboy Cardi, and Playboy Cardi he's good. I've heard him rap. No, let me take that back. He's okay for a youngster. He's okay, but this probably should be closer to 200 than 129.
But also, isn't it more like punk rock?
Oh my gosh. Oh, and at 124.
Uh-oh. What's going on at 124?
Outcast, the speaker box, Love Below.
And I'll leave that to you. I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard Barter 6 by Young Thug.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that the speaker box of Love Below is better than it.
I can promise you it's better than Barter 6 by Young Thug. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's one of Outkast's best albums, but it is a great album. But it's without making a list, I can off the top of my head put that in the top 100. I think you could make a case that you'd put it higher than 124.
I could make a case, but I could also make the case that it wouldn't be on my top 200.
This is true.
But I can also make the case of how in Kyle's Red and Black Earth is Digital Underground Sex Packets better than it was written. Wow. Just how?
Digital Underground comes in at 114.
I love that album, but
I love that album. 1990. This album is a banger, still bangs to this day. Rest in peace, Shock G. But there's no way that it should be a 114. But right in front of it at 113, Jay-Z's The Black Album, which some people say is his best album.
Well, if that's his best album, I got news for you. It is not better than Chance the Rapper's coloring book.
Oh my gosh.
Now listen, they got some things on here. They got Breaking Atoms, which is good. Going Off, I think, is low at 110 because
So by all means.
By all means necessary. One, they got Going Off being better than by all means necessary, which is crazy talk.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you that Breaking Atoms, Pusha T's Daytona are not better than By All Means Necessary. Old Dirty Bastard's not better than By All Means. None of these albums here are better than. Listen, they have Eve. Now listen, you like Eve.
I love Eve.
I cannot give you an Eve bar right now.
I can.
I can give you a hook. I cannot give you.
Your mind.
Yeah, I give you a hook. And I know at one point she said she was a pet bull in a skirt.
That's it.
But that's not a bar.
No, that's not a bar.
I cannot give you a bar. I can give you a hook.
And that album's at 104, bro.
I defy people to give me a bar. Give me an Eve bar.
I don't have one.
Exactly. So, and this is better. All right, man.
Hey, but it's better than the coloring book. At 103, Most Def, Black on Both Sides. I mean, come on, man.
No.
Most Def from Black Star. So as we cross over into the hundreds, you guys can see this thing. I mean, we're coming in at 101. The 101 album is ultimately Jeezy's Thug Motivation 101. Okay, Rolling Stone, I see what you're doing.
Yeah, they did that on purpose.
You trolled.
And that was an awful joke.
Yes. Coming in at 100, Run DMC's Raising Hell.
Arguably one of the greatest hip hop albums ever created.
Ever. ever.
This is top 10, 20 material right here. This shaped hip hop, but it's 100.
Should be no lower than 30. 30 at the most. That's it.
Oh man.
But coming in at 95, T.I.
No. Company Flow.
Oh, excuse me.
Fun Crusher Plus is better than Raising Hell by Run DMC.
I don't even remember.
Ice-T's Power has a better album cover than Raising Hell.
Oh, great album cover. Shout out to Darlene.
But we're not pretend. T.I. doesn't have a bar better than Run DMC on Raising Hell.
That's the Rubber Band Man. Wild as the Taliban. He's the king of the South, man. Come on, man. Run was never the king of the South. He was just the king of rock.
Yeah. Now listen, De La Soul made it. De La Soul is dead at 94. Nah, that's low.
Terrible.
That's low.
Terrible. That's criminally low.
Death Certificate is everybody's favorite Ice Cube album except for me.
Mine, yes.
Everyone's, even Ice Cube's. This is, right before he fell the fuck off, and this is very low. But what can you do when you have DJ Shadows?
Yeah, 92, and coming in at 91, your favorite hip hop album of all time, Boogie Down Productions, Criminal Minded from 1987. What say you?
According to me, this is a top 3 hip hop album of all time. According to me, it is interchangeable with 1 and 2 with Paid in Full.
Okay.
According to me, how the fuck is Kid Cudi better than Criminal Minded?
I think I heard this album. I think I actually heard that Kid Cudi album.
You heard The Man on the Moon? Is it your shit? Did it get you moving? I'm going to tell you this. Well,
it wasn't good.
Oh, well, that's different. I'm going to tell you this. I love Grand Nubian. Grand Poopa is one of my favorite MCs of all time. There is no way that One For All is better than Criminal Minded. And Cypress Hill doesn't have a song catalog that's better than anything on Criminal Minded.
Bruh.
Comments like water for chocolate.
Hey, hold on now.
No. You can love the album.
It's not better than Criminal Minded.
Thank you. You can love the album all you want.
That would probably be in my top 30. I love that album. But no, it's not better.
Yeah, come on, man.
Because Criminal Minded, I could easily put in my top 10.
I would argue, as much as I hate B, that B's better than like Water for Chocolate.
No, I love like Water for Chocolate more than I love B. 82. Coming in at 82, The Great Adventures of Slick Rick from 1988.
At least it's better than Vince Staples.
But it's not as good as Earl Sweatshirt's album, some rap songs that came in at number 80.
Listen, I just found out, I was today's years old, that I found out that Azalea Banks has an album better than Eric B. and Rakim.
Azalea Banks comes in at 78. Eric B. and Rakim's Follow the Leader comes in at 79. Azalea Banks had an album called Broke with Expensive Taste that came out in 2014. I am positive that I've never heard Azalea Banks rap one bar before.
Did you know that Jay-Z and Kanye West, who made Niggas in Paris, the album was better than the Eric B. and Rakim album with Microphone Fiend on it?
I could make a case that this Jay-Z album probably should be about 140.
But the Jay-Z and Kanye West album and the Eric B. and Rakim album cannot touch what Megan Thee Stallion made.
Yeah. Fever. Sitting at 75. Oh, Lord. And sitting at 74. Public Enemy, Fear of a Black Planet. Come on, man. But that's not better than Megan Thee Stallion? Come on, man. What are we talking about here? And at 71, 1989's All Hail the Queen from Queen Latifah. She's better than Megan Thee Stallion, though.
Well, yes, she is. And this album, up until this point, this is the best female MC rap album that's been on the list thus far.
Mm-hmm. I'll agree.
And it's still low.
Criminally low.
She's no Flo Milli, this woman.
Flo Milli. From Mobile, Alabama. Shout out to Mobile. Okay, Iron Man comes in at 69. That's from Ghostface Killer, dropped in 1996.
But it's not better than Juvie.
No, it's not better than Juvenile's 400 Degrees, which came out in 1998. I bought both albums. 400 Degrees is a touching Iron Man.
Oh my God. Man.
On his worst day. Oh my God. Man, what are we doing here?
I would argue that Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man would make a better album than 400 Degrees.
Oh my God. 3-6 Mafia, Mystics. Okay, I'm pretty sure I never heard that album before.
Well, they have Oscars. So.
Oh yeah. Okay. And so Balloon Mind State from De La Soul came in at 65. So Balloon Mind State is better than De La Soul's 3 Feet High and Rising?
This is, no, it was De La Soul is Dead.
I'm sorry, De La Soul is Dead.
This is a surprise because up until this list, I've always been the only person that likes this album.
You really are.
But there's no fucking way it's better than De La Soul is Dead.
De La Soul is Dead is a groundbreaking album. Balloon Mind State is a good album. It's a very good album, but it ain't fucking with that. Oh, Lord. What else? Okay. 61, we got Scarface, The Diary, 1994. But it's not as good as Kendrick Lamar's Damn, which came out in 2017. That's at 60. Now, that album won a Pulitzer Prize.
Hey, man. Listen. All of you Kendrick fans can say whatever you want to say about it. He's fine for this era. I'm not putting, a lot of people say, oh no, he's dope in any era you can put. These albums, hey man, listen. If you're starving and someone gives you beans and you never liked beans, but you were starving, those beans are gonna be incredible. I'm just, and then, you know, the only thing else you got is like sauerkraut and coleslaw. I'm like, no, the beans is the greatest shit ever. The guy's fine. The guy's fine. Life After Death is at 59.
Yeah. But it's not as good as number 56. Chicago female MC by the name of No Name. Her album called Room 25 came out in 2018. Have you ever heard No Name rhyme before?
No, I have not. I was only privy to the individual maybe a couple of months ago via a picture.
Okay.
I have never heard any of the musical efforts by this young lady. I don't know the pronouns by them. But I'm going to guess that no matter how dope they are, they have never made an album better than License to Ill, America's Most Wanted, and Life After Death.
Yes.
I'm going to guess. Now, people can be in the comments and play me a couple of her ditties and tell me that they're better, but I'm just gonna guess.
Yeah, it's she, them. They're not messing with any of those albums that you just mentioned.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Did you know that the Migos are better than the Tribe Called Quest?
The Migos album Culture comes in at 54. A Tribe Called Quest is Midnight Marauders from 1993 comes in at 55. Midnight Marauders is my personal favorite album from A Tribe Called Quest. I heard some songs off Culture. There's no way on Al Gore's internet I will get on here and tell you that album, which features songs like "Look at My Dab" and what was the other one? I can't remember.
I like the song. Didn't this have T-shirt on it? I like T-shirt. And then they have Bad and Bougie.
Oh yeah, that's it. Okay, there you go.
And what's the other shit I liked on there? Stir Fry. Was Stir Fry on here?
It might have been.
I like Stir Fry.
It might have been. But
guess what? None of those songs I said I liked are better. Listen. And so I just wanted people to know, I was naming songs that I know that was on it because I like those songs. Mm-hmm. And when this album came out, I told him, like, a couple of these songs ain't so bad.
You did. Honestly, you truly did. Because you came to me about the album. I had not heard anything on it.
Listen, and I'm not Amigo.
And they're in my city. They're in my city.
But License to Ill, there's America's Most Wanted, Life After Death, Operation Doomsday. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. The Migos is better than everybody's favorite Get Rich or Die Trying. Wow. There's 10 spots ahead of Get Rich or Die Trying.
We got Salt and Pepper, Hot, Cool, and Vicious, which is an album that we both love.
It's the greatest female hip-hop group album of all time. And if you want to just go female, it is the original pressing, not the one that you can go by now, but the original pressing is the greatest female effort in hip-hop history for me. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But and shout outs to Cheryl, Sandy, and Dee Dee for being better than Flo Milli. That is a tough task. That's a tough task.
From Mobile, Alabama.
Yeah, Flo Milli is my shit.
Yeah, so it felt good to see Salt and Pepper on here. The Roots came in at number 51.
Are you putting Things Fall Apart ahead of The College Dropout?
Hell no.
I'm just going by what's on the list because you're a big Roots fan.
I'm a huge Roots fan, and I'm a big fan of Kanye's first 3 albums. Now, after those 3 albums, I stopped fucking with Kanye. But there's no way. I mean, I'll just put it like this, folks. Jesus Walks was on that album. There's no way that you can tell me that there are 50 something albums better than that. And there's no way that I'm putting that. Nah, man, I'm not doing it. It's not better than College Dropout.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the top 50. And I'm going to tell you, the bottom part, this bottom part of this 50 has some heavy hitters. And the bottom part of this 50, I'm going to tell you, has what I have as a top 10, top 15 albums of all time. Starting with number 50 itself.
There you go.
EPMD's Strictly Business. Without scrolling the list, I am positive that the next 10, going to 40, are not better than this album. Straight Outta Compton, a lot of people will put it above that, but Straight Outta Compton has something to dance to on it.
Yeah.
So that's why I say you're wrong.
You gonna leave something to dance to alone, man.
Listen, you are not gonna be better than Strictly Business if you have something to dance to on it. It's like, this is a scientific fact. I'm not making this up. This is in physics class.
Hey man, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
You cannot be better.
I get where you're going though. I totally get where you're going.
You can't be a better album if you have something to dance to on it. Do you know how bad? Like, could you picture Mary J. Blige's "My Life" and then the last song was something to dance to? It's not. That album is not as dope anymore.
The label made him do it, man.
I don't care. It's there. So because of that.
Okay, and then so you got Donuts, which is a sentimental favorite for me.
Yeah, but we know better.
Yeah, it's not better.
No.
It's not. Shout out, rest in peace, Jay Dilla. Misty Misdemeanor. Elliot Super Duper Fly at 47.
Okay, now hold on. Here's the problematic portion of the show.
Okay.
This is, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to not derail this show. Look forward to as if we were on the 12 Cal podcast, a bonus episode.
There you go.
Look forward to a bonus episode, and it's going to be entitled Misdemeanor.
Uh-oh.
Let's continue.
Okay.
Because what I found out,
Go ahead.
as much as I like Strictly Business by EPMD,
Mm-hmm.
they cannot sniff Tyler, the Creator's jockstrap.
Listen, Call Me If You Get Lost in 2021 was a really good album. It's not that good. It's not 46 good. Of all time? Nah, I'm sorry.
Is it 200 of all time?
Oh, it's in the top 200.
You're putting this on the top 200 of 50 years of hip hop. This album, that's how good that album is.
This album probably would, for me, off the top of my head, would probably fall somewhere around 195.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
At 45.
You heard that straight from Cal the Creator. Go ahead.
At 45, LL's Mama Said Knock You Out.
Listen, it's disrespectful to have to cut this low.
I mean, come on, man. 44, Liquid Swords from the Jizza.
Also not better than Mama Said Knock You Out.
Yeah. But Run DMC, which came out in 1984.
Also not better than Mama Said Knock You Out. 42, Long Live the King, also not better than Mama Said Knock You Out.
It's not.
Late Registration, not better than Mama Said Knock You Out.
Late Registration is on here before College Dropout, which is not better than College Dropout. Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Let's rewind a little bit. Long Live the King is better than, it's exponentially, according to this, exponentially better than Follow the Leader by R&B Rocky. Okay, man. All right.
I don't know what we're doing here. Okay. Long Live the King. We've talked about it ad nauseum. That album did not age well at all. All right. At 40, The Chronic, an album that I love. E does not like at all.
I do not.
I
like it better than Good Kid, Mad City, though.
I don't think you can put Good Kid, Mad City over The Chronic because, in a sentimental way, I think if you don't have The Chronic, you don't have Good Kid, Mad City. So I don't have a problem with Good Kid, Mad City being at 38, but I do have a problem with it being over The Chronic. That I can't go.
There's no way. I know off the top of my head I can name 40 albums, hip hop albums better than Good Kid, Mad City. I can give you the discographies of like Tribe and EPMD. That's better.
But what about Flo Milli?
Oh no! Well, no. There's no way.
From Mobile, Alabama.
Nah, I need Flo Milli in my life.
Chance the Rapper's Acid Rap is at 36.
It's better than the Purple Tape.
No fucking way.
It's
Ain't
better
no.
than
You know what? Hold on, E. Let me tell you something. Chance the Rapper, from what I've seen and from what I've heard, he understands and he gives reverence to those who came before him. If you ask Chance the Rapper if Acid Rap was better than the Purple Tape, he'd tell you to get the fuck out of here. So I'm not sure how the Rolling Stone came up with this. E, but you see what's sitting at 35. Yes. Doggy Style, Snoop Doggy Dogg from 1993. Let it be known.
It's better than the Purple Tape. It's also not better than Mama Said Knock You Out. And the only thing, so one, Doggy Style is not better. Doggy Style is not better than The Chronic. It's not better than Late Registration. It's not better than Mama Said Knock You Out. It's not better than the Purple Tape. But none of these fucking fuckface albums are better than Chief Keef's Finally Rich.
Gosh, at 32.
Better than 3 Feet High and Rising. Chief Keef.
Love Sosa.
I do. It's AZ.
No, he used to love Sosa. But at 31, Nicki Minaj's Pink Friday from 2010. Come on, man. What are we doing here?
Oh, by the way. Well, you know what? Let's keep going.
At 29, Tupac's All Eyes on Me from 1996.
Hey, look, 29 might be a good spot for this album.
Yeah, but I would need Me Against the World lower than that, because Me Against the World is a more superior album than this, I think.
Maybe.
And I said it before and I'll say it again, if this album is a single album, then Pac, he's there.
Oh yeah. Let me ask you a question. This is very important. This is pivotal to this episode.
Mm-hmm.
What's the better album, Aquemini or The Infamous?
A better album?
Yeah, not your favorite. What's the better?
That's tough. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Aquemini.
Okay, so you're still wrong. All right. So, all right. Well, there
Infamous is at 28. Aquemini is at 27.
Mm-hmm.
Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt is at 26. And none of those albums are better than the Marshall Mathers LP, which is at 25.
I'm gonna tell you something, everyone that's listening. I'm gonna shock your faces off. Hold on to your socks. All Eyes on Me, The Infamous, Aquemini, Reasonable Doubt, the Marshall Mathers LP. There's only one of those that I haven't heard.
Take a guess.
And it's the one that's ranked the highest.
Oh my gosh.
I've never heard the Marshall Mathers LP.
And at 24.
Oh, well, 24 means it's some shit.
Nas is Illmatic from 1994. Listen, I know that I'm sentimentally tied to this album. This album will probably, in no doubt, fall in my top 5 easily. And it ain't 5. But no. And at 23.
Riding Dirty is better than Illmatic.
Listen, man, Pimp C wouldn't even tell you that. Rest in peace. You know what, E? I want to back up real quick.
Go ahead.
It's something that I saw, and I saw it happen twice on this list, and it may have happened more than once.
on there? What?
No. We had a situation where 2 albums went back to back were albums from 1988.
Well, yeah,
so I'm wondering, it is the greatest year of hip. We agree on that. But what I'm wondering is that as they're making these selections, are they saying, okay, well, hey, let's put EPMD here, and then hey, let's put NWA here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was almost like they kind of picked straws, and I saw that happen at least 2, maybe 3 times on this list.
I am convinced that there was some sort of dartboard situation, maybe a beer pong competition to determine the placement. You're telling me that Lil Wayne's Da Drought 3, which I am assuming is a mixtape, is better than Illmatic.
Yeah. And it's better than the Carter 3.
The Future's Dirty Sprite 2 is better than Illmatic.
Hey, man.
Lil Kim's Hardcore is better than Illmatic. Yeezus
Hell fucking no.
is better than Illmatic. Cardi B's Invasion of Privacy.
It's at 16.
She dropped her debut album better than Illmatic. Okay.
But you know, E, before we even move forward, I got to give you props. Because as I was looking at this list, at Future at 20, I was going to say DS2 because I didn't know what DS2 was.
Look at me, I'm a man of the people.
Hey, man, you said Dirty Sprite 2. Wow.
I'm a man. Listen. For everybody that's listening, like, man, old ass. I know.
You know a little something.
But I don't have to like it. I know it, though, because I know enough, so when I form my opinion, it's coming from somewhere.
All right, man. You know me long enough, man. You know what my favorite hip-hop album is. And it comes in at 15 on
Yeezy. Oh, Yeezy.
No, not that one. Eric B. and Rakim's Paid in Full which came out in 87. It's at 15.
According to me, that is the greatest hip hop album ever created.
Yeah.
And it's not my favorite.
It's my favorite. And
but according to me, that is the greatest one. And according to them, there are 14 other ones that are better, including Dr. Dre's 2001, which isn't even better than The Chronic.
It is not. And it's not even close.
So I don't know what we're doing.
Supreme Clientele coming in at 14. Hell no. So Supreme Clientele is better than the Purple Tape.
And it's better than Illmatic.
And it's better.
But it's not better than the Clips, Lord Willin, and Drake's Take Care. Those are better than Supreme Clientele and Iron Man and the Purple Tape and Illmatic and It Was Written and Paid in Full and Follow the Leader.
And Aquemini.
Well, it's probably better than Aquemini.
All right, man. So let's slow it down a little bit.
Let's slow it down to the top 10, where the top 10 features an album that's not a hip-hop album.
Number 10, Lauryn Hill's The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, which came out in 1998.
That has 3 raps on it.
That's it.
Not 3 rap songs, 3 raps.
3 raps of a 18-track album, I think, including skits. I don't know. Well, I'm not gonna say I don't know how this happened. I know how it happened, because people love Lauryn Hill, and we both love Lauryn Hill. We love Elvis.
But that's the problem. Here's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
No, they don't. They used to.
Oh yeah, that's true.
She's the object of ridicule now. She's late to everything. She looks weird. She doesn't sound the same. No one loves her anymore.
She's late registration. Yeah, so this shouldn't even be on this list. You can't even put it at 200 because it's not a hip hop album. Mm-hmm. Coming in at number 9, A Tribe Called Quest's Low End Theory, which came out in 1991.
Which is not better than Midnight Marauders.
It is not. Mm-hmm. And it's better than Paid in Full. And it's better than Purple Tape.
Oh boy.
Nah, this shouldn't be at 9. Coming in at number 8, Wu-Tang Clan Enter the 36 Chambers, 1993. I think this is a top 10 album.
Yeah, I don't hate it at 8.
Yeah, I'm cool with it at 8.
Boy, but 7 and 6.
You could make a case that Wu could be a little higher though.
Oh my God.
All right, so 7. Let me before I touch on 7. 7 is Missy Elliott's Miss E So Addictive 2001 album. All right, now my friend over here says that I hate women, which is a lie, because I love women. My wife's a woman, and I've loved women all my life. When I saw this on here,
you stopped liking women. I wouldn't blame you.
No, I had to stop, because like I remember getting a Missy album. I remember buying a Missy album. I was like, was that the one? Because I've only bought one of her albums, right? Mm-hmm. But I bought the one before this. I didn't buy this album.
You bought Under Construction.
Yeah. And so when I thought about it, I was like, okay, well, what were the songs on this album? And I remember Get Your Freak On, and that was it. Mm-hmm. And then it dawned on me, I've never heard this album.
Listen, hold these thoughts, because we're gonna have to talk about something else in a second.
Okay.
But under no circumstance should this album be at number 7.
No,
I'm putting the Lauryn Hill album here as a hip hop album before I'm putting this album here.
This album probably should be somewhere around
562.
And at number 6, Kanye West's My Beautiful Twisted Dark Fantasy from 2010.
Right.
No, this album doesn't do anything.
This top 10 is garbage.
I mean, like, I know that there are a lot of people that love this album. I like this. I can't even say I like this. This album's okay. This is not his best album. I think it's 4 in his discography, with his first 3 being his first 3 best albums. But
I'm making a statement here.
Mm-hmm.
As terrible as this list is, and it is terrible.
Very terrible.
10 for 10. 200 to 1. Mm-hmm. The final 10 might be the worst 10.
Yeah. I'll agree because
That's bad.
even as we were going through the list, we could pick out some ones that we could justify them being where they were, or somewhere close to it, a facsimile of,
Or just good albums.
with the exception of Flo Milli.
Flo Milli. I don't know why Flo Milli isn't
From
top 10.
Mobile, Alabama. All right, so that's 5. That's 6. 5. Kendrick Lamar's "To Pimp a Butterfly," 2015. All right, I love this album.
That's not better than Good Kid, Mad City.
I think it is.
It's not.
But I'm in the minority. Not a lot of people think that. It's kind of split down the middle, like how.
And I don't even like Kendrick, and I'm telling you this.
I love Kendrick, but I think "To Pimp," but it's not a top 5. It's not a top 10 album.
It's
If you
not
said
a
top
50.
20,
No.
maybe.
Out of 50 years of hip hop. All right, man. Okay.
Here's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't argue with someone that did put it there, but
I can name albums that's not on this list that is better than this. But go ahead, please. Go ahead.
So then 4, Public Enemy, "It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back" from 1988.
Most people have that as a top 3 album of all time.
It's definitely in the top 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely in the top 3.
I don't, but I definitely have it as top 10.
Yes. I couldn't foresee it being outside of anybody's top 10.
No shit.
Number 3, Jay-Z's "The Blueprint." No.
Hey, if this list came out the week that the Blueprint dropped, I would understand.
Not with Whole Lot Whole Veto on it. Just like you said, something to dance to. Whole Lot Whole Veto gets this album out of here. Number 2.
All right, I'm out.
Listen, you don't have to comment. I will do all the commenting for you. This is bullshit. Number 2 is Outkast and Stankonia. And Outkast is one of my favorite groups. Love Outkast, done podcasts. And I've talked about Outkast ad nauseum. Here's what I'll say. Stankonia is not a top 10 album. Stankonia is not one of Outkast's best 3 albums. So there's no way if I can name 3 Outkast albums that are better than Stankonia, there's no way on God's green earth.
You can name 3 albums that's better than Stankonia, and 2 or maybe 3 of them aren't even on this whole 200 list.
Yes. Stankonia is a good album. It's a really good album, but it's not top 10. It's not top. It's not there. I'm sorry. I take it. I'm not sorry. This is bullshit. People love Outkast, and I get it. And they're worth. Now, if you said, here's the thing. Like, I love Aquemini, but even I couldn't put Aquemini in the top 10. That's bullshit, man. That's bullshit. And number 1, the Notorious B.I.G. "Ready to Die" from 1994. Oh man. This isn't. This isn't. Now I may be in the minority, but I think, Life After Death is better than Ready to Die.
I can't argue. I won't argue with you. I just know that is not the greatest hip hop album ever made.
Not even close. And I think partly the reason why it lands here is because of the mystique and everything with Big. And let's be honest, if Big were alive, this is not a top 10 album, because there's a sentiment that goes along with the fact that, Biggie's no longer with us, and it ain't his fault he got killed, but bruh, man, this isn't this, and it is a very good album. Mm-hmm. If I'm handing out mics, it's probably a 3.5.
It's in the top 25 hip hop albums of all time.
You put it in the top 25?
I put it in the top 25. It might be 24, 25.
Yeah, I don't know that. I don't know if it cracks my top 35. Honestly.
Nah, I put it in the top 25.
I'm not going to argue with someone, but personally, nah. Hip hop artist ever. Mm-hmm. Commercial wise. And then, okay, so you throw some guys in at 4 who never had any type of commercial success. And then at 5, another pop guy. A popular guy.
I'm surprised they didn't. The first 3 wasn't Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas.
No, Nas ain't selling enough. I mean, what? Illmatic was at 24. So all of these albums are better than Illmatic.
Way better than Illmatic.
Way
Not
better.
just better than Illmatic.
Yeah, Ready to Die is way better. Okay, so let me ask you, E, what's better, Ready to Die or The Infamous?
Infamous.
36 Chambers or Ready to Die?
It's about a tie.
Okay. So you feel a little bit
because
stronger.
Tears is something to dance to. That's what I'm saying.
The label made them do it, man.
It's something to dance to. If you have something to dance to on your album, I can't,
Yeah, man. I'm not rolling with this, man. This list is awful.
Now, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, I go back to Missy. I go back to Lauryn Hill, and again, it's not me attacking women, but
I told you, everybody. It'll come out eventually. You just let them talk
man,
long
they
enough.
don't
It'll come out.
You can't put them there. You just can't. And I mean, for Biggie to be number one, that's bullshit. Man. Come on, we're trying to sell magazines here. That's what we're doing. This is ridiculous. Jay-Z. This isn't even Jay-Z's best album. It's not even close. And Reasonable Doubt is somewhere around 50 something or whatever. I can't remember where we saw it at. But yeah, what were you gonna say on it, man? Because I'm this is ridiculous.
Listen,
yeah,
we went 200 deep. The greatest hip hop albums all time, ever in a day. The greatest. 200, right? In the history of hip hop, 200, not a single AZ album. Not a single Redman album.
But
Not a single Method Man album.
But Flo Milli from Mobile, Alabama.
The DOC's album is not on there.
Come on, man. What
Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it. In
They
the top
gave
200.
They gave you Things Fall Apart, but Philadelphia is not on the list.
You know what, E? I made a mental note, and I forgot to check to see if that was on it, because you know how much I love that album.
Philadelphia's not on the list.
But Cardi B's Invasion of Privacy is better than Philadelphia Half-Life.
The Shining is not on the list.
Come on, man. What are we doing?
So, I mean, not on the list, though, of 200.
Right. But Flo Milli.
There's no locks. There's no...
I didn't know lie. Damn.
Do you remember saying anything about the locks?
No dog pound, dog food?
I mean, yeah, doggy style. Isn't that enough?
Come on, man. Come on, man. Dog pound was good.
I'm just telling you what's not on the list.
I'm trying to think. What else?
Not on the list. And
no Ludacris?
Oh well. Okay. See, I was doing a thing, man. But I'll tell you.
Come on, now come on, now you're a hip hop head. You could make room for Move Bitch, Get Out the Way to find somewhere on the 200 list.
I tell you, I could make room for Warren G's album. I can make room for that. That's not on there.
Come on, man.
He's the DJ. I'm the rapper's not on there.
Come on, man. Are you serious?
It's not on the list. No Heavy D to be found on the list.
None. Damn.
Like, I don't understand. The Down by Lawrence and Shan album's not on the list.
And you know what's weird is that as we were going through, I was also making a mental note. There are albums that got 5 mics that aren't on this list.
Right. Not one of the 200 best.
You got 5 mics and you can't make the list.
You better get No Name on there in the City Girls.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man. So Rolling Stones, man, great job. I mean, all publicity is good publicity, I guess. You got people talking. No one said anything about Rolling Stone in the past however many years. And you got people talking, so congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, Yeezus at 17. Yeezus probably come in like at 8:45 for me.
And no graduation.
None. None. I peeped that.
Yeah, no graduation though.
Yeah, this
No
is
no little brother.
man. Listen, well, they did have a little
There's some village.
They did have the listening. The listening did make the list, but that's not their best album. Their best album is the second album, Minstrel Show.
Yeah, it's
damn.
not there.
Wow. No Illa Death, Half-Life.
I don't believe there's anything from the Boot Camp Clique at all.
I want to say The Shining.
The Shining is not on that list.
It's not? Oh, wow.
It is not.
Okay, Mad Villainy came in at 18. That's kind of high. I like
and
that.
they didn't even have the Best Common album. The Best Common album was Resurrection. That wasn't on there.
Yeah, that wasn't going to make it. DMX is Dark as Hell is High. Okay, so the dog did make it.
But only that one. The other one didn't.
UGK at 23. Wow. And I love Riding Dirty.
It's better than Illmatic.
It's better than Illmatic. Man, let me tell you something. As much as Bun B is a student of the game, man, Bun B and Bun B kills it on that song Murder. But he'll tell you himself that he's not better than Nas on Illmatic. Oh my gosh, man.
So ladies and gentlemen, at some point in life, maybe we'll make a list. And it won't be 200. It might be 100. We don't know. But we'll make something to try to balance the scales. Yeah, man. And make things more gooder for you people. But we just wanted to do a reaction.
Ain't going bro.
Yeah. That stinks.
That is terrible. There's nobody, there's no real Outkast fan that will tell you that that's their best album. If they
or that it's the second greatest hip hop album ever made.
That part. I don't even think Dre and Big Boy would tell you that. Oh my God.
Listen, guys. We appreciate you listening to us. And it didn't go unnoticed that Foxy Brown's L99 is not on that list. But
Flo Milli.
Flo Milli though. All right, Flo Milli, the goddess. You know, shouts to the goddess, Flo Milli. But yeah, wasn't on the list. But you know what? Whatever, man. We'll you know, some other
name.
Yeah. But thank you guys for listening. We got a lot of content. We about to get right into this misdemeanor. And
I'm about to go play this album.
So in the meantime, in between time, we appreciate you, hip hop.
5Gs.
Check it. Him there and that other fool there. They the only ones might be trouble.
So I'm gonna drop Scar, you just drop the other motherfucker.
Nah, just Scar. His boy break, we gonna let him. But if he raise up, I'm on him, see? Now give me some time to go around the block and set up on the other side. All right?
In the backseat leaning, thinking about all the things I've seen and grinding. Time in, motherfucker, wrap up, stepped up, motherfucker. So why could've crept on a sucker? From behind and blew the breath out the buster. But instead held my head like a hustler. Parked up to get the sound of the muffler. Heard him clown about his pounds being fluffier. Telling niggas out of town they'll be luckier. It gets sad when the hood had enough of ya. Broke niggas bucket ya, poke you in your jugular. But when you high, you feel niggas can't fuck with ya. I'm surprised a nigga still had customers. Shut my eyes and then held my smoke, trying to decide should I let him slide. But nope. He broke ties when he spoke his lies, telling spies that he hope I die. So my reply is to keep it real. I hope he could fly, cause I'ma send him to them open skies. I seen him rise, seen him fall, seen him come, seen him go, seen them all. Seen stars with their name on the wall till the money get tight and the limelight's gone. 3 a.m. in the backseat leaning, thinking about all the things I've seen. And
cold is the cold in the wintertime. Slow wine when I rhyme, no beginner I'm. City walk when they sin, trying to make a dime. They don't ask for too much, just a little shine. A little time on the grind, try and get that guap. Wasn't worth 8 years for your first time pop. Now you back rehabilitated, punching the clock. Old neighborhood witnessing your man in the drop. Got the drop on that nigga, said he running the block. Graduated from the greens to serving up rock. So you plotting, you thinking, you sit on the plan of some ski mask shit, but that's your man, I'm saying. You trying to push reason to the front and put a block on that other shit you want, but the streets keep calling your name. A 9 to 5 slave to the rhythm ain't bringing you fame. So it's back to the game, round up a little game, set it up to stick your main, but he stick you first. Goodbye. I seen him rise, seen him fall, seen him come, seen him go, seen him all. Seen stars with their name on the wall till the money get tight and the limelight's gone. 3 a.m. in the backseat leaning, thinking about all the things I seen, man.
Before niggas was on the bandwagon, I fell asleep to the sound of hand cannons, leaving holes in souls the size of Grand Canyons. Late nights, Bingham Street with my man Brandon. Fast forward 12 years, now we grandstanding, because I'm maintaining without man tanning. And it made me an animal, but I need another quota book for the catalog. I could dumb down and rap for bitches and alcohol, but I'm too loud and too proud to tap dance for these cracker dogs. So won't be no Gregory Hinen. When Tay get hostile, he spit gospel like he in the whinings. And right now, he in the finding a new platform for the rhymes that I arrange, and new ideas for the lines that I exchange. Cause I can't be a laughing stock, homie, that'll be a crying shame. All I need is 6 bars in the intro, cause I relate to these beats like it was kinfolks, and the flow so fresh like Mentos. And this is all real talk, that's for your info, cause that's what I've been, yo. Oh,
I seen him rise, seen him fall, seen him come, seen him go, seen him all. Seen stars with their name on the wall till the money get tight and the limelight's gone.
3 a.m. in the backseat leaning,
thinking about all the things I've seen there.
I seen him rise, seen him fall, seen him come, seen him go, seen him all. Seen stars with their name on the wall till the money get tight and the limelight's gone.
Hey now.
Give me a ticket for an airplane. Ain't got time to take a fast train.